So till what we have studied yesterday, learned yesterday is if-else statement. In control flow we have seen if and switch. In if-else we have seen if-else, and also if-else, nested if-else, that is. And also nested if-else. That is different, this is different. But if you are, you need to practice for the syntax. So we now what we are going to see is switch statement. So here, this is the syntax of the switch statement. So what it does, allows a program to evaluate an expression and attempt to match the expression's value to a case label. What is case label? First, we will see this. I'll copy this in and paste it here in my program. Okay. First, what they are saying is, we'll be having an expression here. What is expression? Whenever there is an expression, mostly there will be a condition. So there will be a condition here. Based on the condition, whether it is maybe a anything, like any number, anything. So that value, it checks whether it matches with this label value. There are two labels here, case labels. So if I'm replacing it with 1 and then 1 and then 2, so it matches with this value, case 1, case 2. So where it will go, the loop will go to the case 1, because this one matches with this one. So instead of 1, I can have any, mostly will keep some strings. We can say anything. So in our office, okay, the terms will be different for you. So Monday, Tuesday, most of the places they have given this example only. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They will keep it for just 4 days. Thursday. Else, okay. So what it does is, if I'm passing Monday here, it will execute this statement. So it matches with each case, and then whenever the condition matches, it will go into it. So then exactly like this, we were doing, okay. And then first it will execute this, and then it will find a break statement here. That is just for syntax. Square bracket won't come. Fine. So if I'm passing Monday here, let me pass Wednesday. So I'm passing Wednesday here. So it matches with the case label first here and then here and then here. Yeah, it got satisfied. And then it executes this statement. It executes this statement, maybe a function or more than 10 lines. We can write anything here. After executing this, it will come to break, and then break says break from the loop and then go out. So break says to the loop that your operation is over, break away from this and then go out. So it will execute only this two. Now it will execute only the statement 2. Fine. Then if I'm passing Sunday here, I have not added any case label which is matching with this value. So it will go to the default value, and then it can say, I'll say It's a holiday. So if I pass Saturday to, it will say this. If I pass Friday to, it will say this. Why? Because I have not written any case label which matches with this Friday. So it will give holiday. Okay, then we'll see. We will first we'll first try to execute these steps. Thursday. Wednesday. Tuesday. And then instead of this, I'm just passing let day equal to Tuesday. Just we will check this in. So it is saying it is a Tuesday. So now I'll just check with another value, Thursday. So it is saying it is a Thursday. So now I can say Saturday. So any values which does not match with this will go to the default values. So there we said it is a holiday. So it is showing it is a holiday. So clear with this till now? Okay, first before that I'll say something. So I have already said break says our program that yeah, your operation is completed. Please break out. So if I am removing this break from Tuesday and then passing the value of Tuesday here, we'll check what it is doing. It is saying it is a Tuesday and it is a Wednesday. So in the switch, in the what is it? In switch case, it first it will check Monday. No, it is not Monday. And then it checks here and then it will start executing all the functions until it finds the break. So if I put break here, it will come out. Otherwise, it don't know that it need to come out. So since it does not know what it will do, it will come to the next line and then it will print this. It won't check this condition. Once the condition got satisfied, it can go to all the body. So it will go here. So if I'm not having break here also, then what it will do, it will print it is a Tuesday and then it is a Wednesday and then it's a Thursday and then here only they'll find a break. It will break only here. So if I run the program now, it will say it is a Tuesday, it is a Wednesday, it is a Thursday. But logically we don't want that. Our purpose is that if any condition satisfies in any one of the following, I just need to print its body. Fine. So we need to be careful that we need to put break. We need to put break. And then other thing, yeah. So I can write the same like this, right? If day equal to Monday, else if day equal to Tuesday, else if somebody's unmuted. Anybody wants to say anything? Fine. So I can do this. Uh, day, 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 holiday, mm. So day equal to Monday, day equal to Tuesday, day equal to Wednesday, Thursday, and then it is a holiday else. Console.log the same implementation in if else. Fine. Now we will check. So just I'm passing Saturday. What it is saying, it is a holiday from the switch statement, and then it is a holiday from if else statement also. So I'm passing Wednesday. So it is saying it is a Wednesday, and also it also says the same for any value. Monday also it will do the same. So the output is same, right? Then why we want to go for this? See here, if it is difficult to, it is difficult in readability wise, it is difficult to follow if else if, and the code looks little clumsy, but here it is clear that how many cases are there. So syntax wise also it is easy to interpret and it is easy to read, right? So when there is a complex else if, when yeah, when it is the if else is becoming complex and complex, then we need to choose switch. So the same functionality can be achieved in if else, but we need to when it is becoming complex, we need to move to switch for the easy readability. I want to check one other thing also, whether performance wise, whether it has any difference. Which was this if else performance JavaScript. Which always outperform the if else if on a larger number of iterations, which will work out, they are saying. They are giving another example. Okay. High performance. As it turns out, the switch statement is faster in most cases when compared to if else, but significantly faster only when the number of conditions is large. So when the number of conditions is large, JavaScript executes switch statement faster than the if else statement. Fine. So performance wise also only when there are too many conditions are there, that time it will execute. Performance wise we can write it here. Performance of switches faster when the conditions are large and if else. Fine. That's about switch case. Any doubts till now? No. Fine. Actually, I took some example here. I have not run it, or also I don't know what it is working. I need to. I'm also going through the example with you guys only. So what it is going to do? If I say it does not have, it is having a case label, but it is like it does not have a body tag, right? So what they are trying is, if any one of the conditions satisfies in this, it will go here. That's it. Nothing big. It does not have a body tag. So what it is meaning, what it is saying is, if it if if this count matches with any of this value, it will go here. If it matches with any of the four values, it will go here. Only for 2, it will check something. Except anything comes, it will say this. So actually, by seeing this, what I come to know is they are searching for which month. They are counting they are saying the count of days in a month. Like January, we will be having 31 days, and for February, it will be having 28 or 29, depends upon the leap year. In March, it is 31, and then April 30. So using this switch case, they are finding in which month how many days will be there, and also they are getting the year. Why they are getting the year? To check whether it is a leap year or not. So in leap year, in the month of February, it will be 29 days. Otherwise, it will be 28. So these things we all know. So just what we are gonna do is, we will just check whether this program works. I'll comment it out the previous thing. So I'm just going to give month of 4. So in the month of 4, we'll be having 30 days. Yes. So it goes to this condition, and it's getting satisfied, and then it prints here. Printing actually consoling outside of everything they have did. So day count will be assigned to 31, and then after coming out of this, console.log will work, because day count is outside of console switch statement, so we can access it. Otherwise, we cannot access it. If the day count is inside this, okay, some other thing we can. Actually, what I wanted to say is, we cannot access it from, if it is not declared here, we cannot access this day count here, because we know that the scope of the day count is let variable is block scope. After going through the previous sessions, you'll come to know these stuffs. You can revise those. So for now, we will just stick into this program. So what I'm gonna give is 4 I have given. So this condition got satisfied. So I'm gonna give March. March month is 3. So 31. So 31 days it is showing. So instead of this, we can give like this also. January, February, March. I can give like this. So my input should be like this. So it just matches with this. That Jan and Jan is same. Yeah, if it is true, then it will become true. So condition we can this expression we can write on your own. Like this also we can write some any conditions if x is greater than y. Kind of. But mostly we need to use this expression, right? So we can say month is greater than this, kind of. So we can say the month is odd month, even month, anything. So we can write any conditions here. Instead of numbers, we can write it as a string, and also instead of string, we can write as a condition too. So what will happen if I give 2? What will happen? It will come here, and then inside that case, we are having another if-else statement. In that, what we are checking. See, if year modulo 4 equal to 0, first it will execute this. Year modulo 4 equal to 0 meaning modulo operation, what it will do? It will give the remainder. So 2016 divided by 4, remainder will be 0, right? For 2017 by 4, remainder will be 1, right? We are just passing 2016, so remainder will be 0. After that, it will go to this condition. Why this condition is, they'll check whether it is a millennium or kind of that thing, I think. I'm not sure about this condition. Year year modulo 100 equal to 0. So it should not be the year of like 2000 or 2100, 2200, and this. I don't know why they are checking this. Maybe anybody knows about the perfect definition of leap year? Don't know. Condition to check leap year, we can check. We have read in our school days. A leap year is the following conditions are satisfied. The year is a multiple of 400. The year is a multiple of 4 and not multiple of 100. Why they are? Else if the year is divisible by 100 and then so 2100. But my question is 2100 or 2200. Anybody has any idea? Yeah, we can skip this. There is a condition. Maybe I can check it later. But definitely we have studied. I cannot recollect now. Or they are just checking year is, or this is the condition, or it should satisfy these two conditions, or just year what is that, modulo 400 equal to 0. So it checks one of these two conditions. Both should be true. If both, I'll write it here. How they are checking us? True, ampersand true, false. How it will execute? It will give true because both of the values are true. If it is false, it will provide it will output in false because both values should be true to give the output of true, right? So let us keep it as true for now. But this becomes false, what it will do? this will just check either one of the values true. If either one of the values true, it will give output as true. So the output will be true. Or else, just examples I'm giving. Now it becomes false. Just check this when you go through this, whether you can able to whether you are getting the same answer, like you can interpret this. Just check while coming to here whether you can interpret this. So for now, what I can say is, if this condition gives true, then I'll say it is a leap year, and then my days count will be 29. If the condition is for this condition output into false, then I will say my month has only 28 days. If I'm giving 15, then it will go to the default part, and then it will say day count equal to -1. So it is kind of an invalid month. We can also put it in console.log, like it is a default, it is a invalid month. So now it will print -1. Fine. Anybody has any doubts till now? If it is clear, we can go to the sign. I'll go to next part. We can, yeah, we will actually, I forgot to give practice statements for practice program for if else. I'll give along with the switch statements too. So loops and iteration. You can say iteration also, iteration also. Sometimes I'll say iterations and sometimes I'll say iteration. So anything will be fine because most of the people use both. So what is loops and iterations? Before going to here, why we need to go for this? When we want to go for loops and iterations? So when we want to perform an operation for more than one time, for many times, like I want to, yeah, we can take this example. In our school days, our teacher would have given assignments or impositions we can take, not assignments, imposition, because we might have done anything wrong. They'll say, write this for 100 times. So I want to, I can go to loop.html. I'm going to loop.html. Okay, JS will be same. So I can copy this JS and then name it as rename F6. Okay, rename loop.js and then going to loop.html and then linking loop.js. Fine. So control Z. So loops. Fine. So what I want to do is our teacher has given us some assignments, imposition. So I just want to print, because what is printing, we need to write, right? Okay. So homework equal to, it can be many line. We can say I'm a student of second standard. They won't say these kind of things. They can say I'll write, I'll complete homework on time hereafter. So she is saying us to write this for 100 times, then only you'll complete your homework hereafter. So what we need to do, we need to write it for 100 times. We are performing the same action again and again for 100 times. So if I know looping concept, so in first looping concept we are gonna learn is for loop. There are other loops also. So we will first learn for loop with this above example itself. So let I equal to 0. What is this? This is a loop variable. There may be any other name also. Okay, for now I'm saying it is a condition variable or loop variable. I less than or equal to 100. I'll explain each by each. I plus plus. First, we will check whether the expected result is coming. Loop.html. Actually, it got printed 101 times. I will complete my homework on time hereafter. It prints actually 101 times. Since it is a console.log, it is not showing. But yeah, it is counting here. See, the loop has run 101 times. See, for you, I can check 50. So since we started with 0, we don't want this equal to symbol. So 50 times. I'll complete homework on time hereafter. The loop came, the loop's body got executed 50 times. Okay. So now our problem got solved. That we have written it 50 times, but our teacher's problem did not get solved because she wants us to write on our own. Then only it will get stored in our mind. So okay, we will come to the here. So what is this? So this is the loop variable. Based on this only, how many times, based on this condition, not fully this is condition, based on this syntax only, it is deciding how many times we want to run this loop. So this is an initialization part. This is an initialization part. Initialization. What is initialization? We are initializing a count variable here. It is kind of a count for counting how many times we need to execute this. So first I'm gonna initialize that. So initialization, and then it will come to this statement, condition. This is just a condition. If also we checked some condition, here also we are checking whether 0 is less than 50. Yes, 0 is less than 50. The condition got satisfied. So what it will do? Body will get executed. What it will do? Body will get executed. Instead of this, we can. This is a multiple command. Wait, just I want to say another one thing. This is a multiple command line. /*/ means if you are having more than 2 lines or 4 lines or 100 lines, if you want to comment, you can add it in front of the line, and then end you need to add this. So it will get commented. Okay, what it will do? Initialization. It initializes I is equal to 0, and then it will execute the condition. After executing the condition, whether if the condition got satisfied, then it will come to the body, and then it will print, or it will do what are the operations are present in the body. After that, what it will do is it will increment or decrement. So it will increment the value of the count variable or decrement the value of the count variable after executing the body statement. So what it will do is it will increment I plus plus. What is I plus plus? Then I's value will be 1. I will be 1. After executing the first time console.log, I's value will be 1. And then what it will do is, again, it only executes the first time. It will initialization executes only one time. Initialization executes only one time when we start the loop. That's it. So it won't go again and again. So what it will do is it will increment and then it will just check the condition. So என்ன பண்ணும்னா first வந்துட்டு I வந்து 0 னு பண்ணும், 0 less than 50 ஆனு பாக்கும், then இது execute பண்ணும். So I plus plus I value 1 ஆயிடும். So மறுபடியும் again எங்க வரும், கண்டிஷனுக்கு வரும், 1 less than 50 ஆனு பாக்கும், yes it's true. So இது பண்ணும், மறுபடியும் initialize increment ஆகும், check பண்ணும், இங்க வரும், increment பண்ணும், condition check பண்ணும், உள்ள வரும். So இதுக்குள்ள போகவே போகாது. So first time இது execute ஆகாது. Increment and decrement வந்துட்டு increment or decrement won't execute on the first loop. Fine. So it will get execute till the value of I becomes 50. It will get execute when the value is 50. It will check I less than 50. 50 is less than 50. No, it is true. It is false. Then it will come out of the loop. When the condition becomes false, it will come out of the loop. Anybody has any doubts till now? Nope. யாரோ போயிட்டாங்க, யாருன்னு தெரியல. I saw a count of 8. I think Monisha. I haven't seen these stuff. I'll just check. A for loop repeats until a specified condition evaluates to false. So they're saying a loop will repeat the statement until a specified condition. In the condition false ஆகிற வரை it will get executed. So increment expression. So increment or it can be decrement expression too. So we can just we can see. I can say like initialization of 50 and then I can say I should be less than 0 and then minus minus. So it will perform the same. It will initialize to I equal to 50 and then it will check whether I is greater than 0. So 50 is greater than 0, yes. So I minus minus. So it will be decremented till, so we can check for now I is 1. After getting decremented 1 by 1, now I is 1. After it will check 1 is greater than 0. Yes, it is true. It will execute and then it will again decrements it. So what will be the value? I is equal to minus 1. Then it will check minus 1 is greater than 0. Yeah, no. So here the condition is evaluated into false and then it will come out of the loop. So 1 second. So we can write this too. Both will perform the same. Yeah. I equal, okay. See, this also got executed 50 times, and this also got executed, this line gets got executed 50 times. Fine. So you just want to know these steps, how it will get evaluated. So the purpose of going for loops is sometimes we want to perform an operation continuously. Actually, we can, it is kind of a unmeaningful thing what we did this writing homework and all. We won't write it here. But sometimes if I want to say some steps, I need to use array. Just keep like this. Without array, I cannot explain. Okay, we'll go to that programmers thing. We will check what example they have given for the script programming. Loop. So they have written it, see, it will execute only once the condition is evaluated. The update expression updates the value when the condition is true. Condition is evaluated again. Okay, they have given some flow chart and all they have given. They also did the same, display a text 5 times. Display numbers from, we can do this. This also, what they have done, they have they have given n is equal to 5. Okay, so they want to print the values of 1 till 5. So they have initialized the value of I equal to 1, and then they are checking 1 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, 1 is less than or equal to 5. They are printing the I value, not n value, because we want 1, 2, 3, 4 increments. We need to increment the values, right? So what we did is we printed the value of I. So next time when the loop comes, I will be incremented by this statement. So it will print 2, and then next time when it comes 3, and then 4, the next time it will be 5, and when it checks the condition after that, it will become 6. So after printing 5, it will incremented into 6 by this statement, and then it will come here, and then if it checks 6 less than or equal to 5, no, the condition is false, so it will come out of the loop. They have given, see, if anybody is not at all clear what I have said, or kind of confusion, since I'm going a bit fast while saying these, it will get incremented and then here it will come and all. If you feel that it is little bit fast, please go here, and then they have given each iteration what will be the value of I and n. See, so natural numbers, infinite for loop. So there is, yeah, what is this infinite for loop? So it will break, because instead of this I can write, I don't want that. If the condition is always true, what will happen? So infinitely the loop will go. See, it is going and going and going. We cannot stop this, right? Browser will hang. False. I don't know. I thought we cannot access it. It got hanged. So now I made it to false. So don't 21st, right? Loop.html. So only this is getting executed because I made the condition to false. So what is infinite loop? When the condition executes to true all the time, the condition of the for loop is never becoming false. It will end up in an infinite loop. infinite times. Infinite time it will execute. So that is called infinite loop, infinite for loop. Okay, they are giving some examples here. I think we have covered for loop. What is the time? 10:54. Same kind of looping concept we can, there is do loop also, do loop, while loop. There are two other loops, we can see it faster. Mostly we will use for loop only. First, try to be comfortable with for loop. I'll make it fast. So while, I think, while condition. What is the condition? I should be less than or equal to 50 I plus plus, let I equal to 1. Actually, the same thing. It is exactly like for loop. So I'm just initializing it by saying this JavaScript only execute this statement once, right? You know already. So kind of this, it will execute this only once, and then okay. It is not like a for loop, it has some other thing different. While loop first, then we will go to while loop. Nothing big. First, we don't want to get confused with that. First, we will go to while loop. So what it will do is first it will initialize, and then it checks the condition, and then it prints the body tag, and then it increments, and again it will come here, and then it will check the condition, and then prints, and then increments, and then condition, and then prints, and then increment. It will go till the value of I is 50. When it reaches 50, 50 less than 50 is false, and then it will come out. So it is exactly, it does exactly what for loop is doing. Maybe performance wise also for loop will be faster, and also readability wise for loop is better. Mostly we will use for loop. We won't go for a while loop. For now, if you're clear with for loop, it is more than enough. But it is nothing much. You yourself can learn this. You yourself can interpret this. This value is executed only once, and then condition, and then increment, and then condition. So it is same like a for loop. See, nothing changes. If I change to 100, and the times it got executed. So it is same like a. So what we can do is we'll check how do while loop works. Do in while, I'm going to check this condition. Okay. So now what it will do? We are initializing I equal to 0, and then it will get executed, and then I will be incremented, and then it will check the condition. If the condition is true, then it will come here. So it will increment and then checks the condition, but then it will come here. So when I is so same, but there is a difference between this and this. If I'm giving the same condition but 101 value, Fine. Before explaining that, just I'm going to make you guys understand on your own. Some people might have interpreted already. Do while do I. Fine. 101 is less than 101 is less than. Okay. And j plus plus. So it is just a count variable. You can use anything. You can also use count and any meaningful thing also. So what it does, see, while loop, just it has not executed anything, but do while one time, not 100 times, only one times it came. One time it came inside the loop. Why? Because do while loop, at starting we are not checking the condition. At the exit only. So we will actually say this as exit loop, and then we'll say this at entry loop, I think. I don't remember these names and all, but I have studied in my school days. Irka. But there is a thing called exit loop and then entry loop. So here in exit only we are checking the condition. So coming back to the point, while loop checks the condition at the front. So if the condition is condition evaluated to false, it won't execute. But do while loop is not checking the condition at first, it is checking the condition at the last. So at least one time, whatever may be the condition, do while loop executes at least once. ஒரு வாட்டியாவது do while loop execute ஆயிடும். கண்டிஷன் என்ன வேணாலும் கொடுத்துக்கோங்க, அந்த கண்டிஷன் லாஸ்ட்ல தான் செக் ஆகும். ஸோ அதனால கண்டிஷன் என்ன வேணாலும் ஃபால்ஸோ ட்ரூவோ என்ன இருந்தாலும் பரவாயில்ல, do while loop மினிமம் எக்ஸிகியூஷன் ஒரு டைமாவது நடக்கும். அவ்வளவுதான், வேற எதுவும் இல்லை. ஸோ I don't want to think much into it. Just when we are going for loops, when we want to repeat some actions, we are going for some action based on condition. We will use loops. So there are different kinds of loops. For loop, okay, I don't want to write and waste our time. For loop, and then do a while loop and do while loop. So for and while will be for and while execution is same, output will be same. Execution process and output is same, but in do while loop, it will also do the same thing, but at least only one time the body will get executed. The body of do loop will get executed at least once, whatever may be the condition. That's it. I need to say what is, we already saw what is break, but still we want to dig into it much. We will do tomorrow. So only pending concept in this slide is functions. We will see functions tomorrow. If we complete this, I feel most of the most of the basic things we have covered. We can go, actually functions, after that we can go for arrays and objects and another important concepts. But these are the things which we need to know. It is kind of a basics. what we are learning is fully basics. Array and those steps are little bit advanced. Any doubts till now? I think Monisha has told something in my message. She cannot hear sound, it seems. Okay, any other doubts, or shall we wind up the class? Mostly I'll try to give the assignments by today so that you can start practicing. Class wind up பண்ணிக்கலாமா? Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you guys. Happy Sunday. Bye bye.